Good morning, students. Have you prepared well the previous session of this slide? I think you are all go through the previous session of our .NET technologies. Today we are going to discuss about a new topic, ASP.NET Intrinsic Objects. You are all well familiar on objects. What is meant by objects? Just remember in real time. What is meant by object? Things, person, places are called objects. Here, object means the content which is in the ASP.NET page. It may be a control, it may be a file, it may be an event, anything. We studied about various kinds of objects. Here, some object helps to access our web application through the protocols and the ASP.NET frameworks. Here, some objects helps us to provide the access to the web application protocols and frameworks. Name some web application protocols which we studied earlier. What are the protocols? TCP/IP. Yeah, right, TCP/IP. And which is the best protocol which are used in our ASP.NET? Yeah, HTTP. From our first chapter itself, we study about the HTTP protocol. That HTTP protocol help us to access the .NET framework. Here, we can use many of the objects with the help of HTTP. These collection of objects are called ASP.NET Intrinsic Object. These objects are the only way to get the web server functionality through our program code. We can get the web server functionality or we can control the web server functionality with the help of our program code. Through who? Through the .NET Intrinsic Object. Next, we are going to discuss about the various ASP.NET Intrinsic Object. The first, that means here I am listing out some the various types of ASP.NET Intrinsic Object. The first one is the HTTP request object. Next, HTTP request response object. In our web client server topic itself, we know about the request and response. These request and response are done through our HTTP protocol. That is HTTP request object, HTTP response object. The next one is the HTTP server utility object. The third one is the HTTP server utility object. Students, listen carefully. First one is the HTTP request object. Next is HTTP response object. The third one is the HTTP server utility object. Next, the fourth one is the HTTP application state object. HTTP application state object. Next, the fifth one is the HTTP session state object. HTTP application state object. Next is the HTTP session state object. And finally, the last object is the object context object. Object context object. These six types of objects are included in the ASP.NET Intrinsic Objects. Got it, students? Okay. Next, we move on to the HTTP request object brief explanation. Student, listen carefully. What is the responsibility for the HTTP request object? From the name itself, from the name request itself, you all came to know what is the functionality of HTTP request object. What is the functionality of HTTP request object? Yeah, well, it helps to retrieve information from the server and send it to the user through an HTML form. From the name itself, HTTP request. While we make a request to the server, it will process inside the web server and it will post the response to the client. That means it is responsible for retrieving information sent in an HTML form. These requests are sent using two of the methods. What are they? HTTP GET method and the HTTP POST method. One is HTTP GET method and one is HTTP POST method. GET method is nothing but once we send a request, it will retrieve an information from the server. HTTP POST method, it will not be retrieve any information, it just submit some data to the server. Okay, got it students? What are the two methods are used in our HTTP request object? One is an HTTP GET method and another one is the HTTP POST method. Next, the CGI encoding scheme. What is CGI encoding? Common Gateway Interface. Common Gateway Interface. What is its application? It helps to encode data in fields, controls and so on for transmission to the server. That means it will encode the data in the page, web page. It may be, the data may be in the fields or controls, anywhere itself. That data must be encoded with the help of CGI encoding scheme. How it will be processed? It takes each field on the form and represent each field as name value pair. Name value pair, with name being the name of the HTML form element and value be the data associated with that form element. Here, for example, name value pair. If we place a text box in the web page, there it is to get the age of the user. The text box help to get the text box is used to key in the age of the user. Here it is a field. Text box is a field on the HTML form. How it is represented? The name of the text box is, that is ID, identification. The ID property of the text box we give it is text box 1. What is the value inside the text box? That is the user's age. That means name value pair. That is, the name is the name of the HTML form element. Here, what is the HTML form element? The text box is the HTML form element. And the value being the data associated with that form element. Value, what is the value? The age of the user is the value. Got it, students? Next, here, the properties of the HTTP request object. Here, I am specifying some of the properties. First property is file path, next files, next filter, form, headers. File path gets the virtual path of the current request. Files gets the collection of client uploaded files. File path means the virtual path of the file. Virtual path of the requested file. Files means get the collection of client uploaded file. Filter means gets or sets the filter to use when reading the current input stream. For example, in our Flipkart or Amazon website, if we want to purchase any product, then it may be a casual wear, shoes, chappals, sandals, wallet. It may anything else. There we can filter the product with the help of the price or size or brand. Anything else. Just like here, filter means gets or sets the filter to use when reading the current input stream. Next, forms. Form means it is a collection of elements. Just imagine our Visual Basic form. What is the content of the form? It may be a label box, text box, command button, anything else in the form. Just like that, form, it specifies a collection of name value pairs for fields and values on HTML forms that were submitted to the server through HTTP post. Submitted to the server via an HTTP post. Next, headers. It helps to get a collection of HTTP headers. You are all know about the HTTP headers. You already studied it in your web technology and also in computer network. Okay, got it, students? HTTP header. There is a HTTP packet. HTTP packet has some structure. There is a HTTP header field. That header can be get with the help of the property headers. Next, some also there may be some other properties. What are they are? Accept types. Accept type means what are the types of values maybe it gets a string array of client supported MIME accept types. Next, application path. Application path means already I told you file path. Just like that, here is an applications virtual application root path in that is the applications path on the server. Next, browser. Which browser the client uses which browser for making a request, that is the browser. Next, client certificate. It consists of certification fields. You are all study about the certificate in your last semester paper, information security certificate. Just like each and every application must have a certification. That certification fields issued by the web browser. It is a collection that contains the certification fields from a request issued by the web server. When it will be used? It will be used while the socket layer connect to the web server. Okay. Next, content encoding. Content encoding means get the character set of the entity body. Next, content length. It will specify the length in bytes of the content sent by the client. Sorry, content length. Next, content type. It specifies the type of the content, type of the requested content. Next, cookies. Specifies the collection of cookies sent in the HTTP request. Next, user agent. Yes, just like there are many other properties. User agent, user host address, user host name, user language. These are some of the properties of HTTP request object. Next, here we are going to discuss about the methods of the HTTP request object. Okay. Methods of the HTTP request object. What are the first is the binary read. What is the functionality of binary read method? It performs a binary read of a specified number of bytes from the current input string. That means we can read specified number of bytes from the specified file. Map image coordinates. It map an incoming image field from parameter to appropriate XY coordinates value. Next, map path. It specifies the virtual path in the requested URL to the physical path on the server. Save a HTTP request to disk. Okay, got it, students? Next, we move on to the HTTP response object. From the name itself, request means make a request. Request means retrieving information from the server. Here, response means it will send data back to the browser. There is HTTP request means retrieving information. HTTP response object helps to send data back to the browser, and it also controls the output of the HTTP string. It also controls the output. Here, if the programming task involves sending output back to the client, the HTTP response object is the vehicle for that task. Vehicle is used for transportation. Just like our HTTP response is act as a vehicle for sending response to the client. Okay. Next, here we are going to discuss about the properties of the HTTP response object. First property is buffer. It indicates whether or not to buffer the HTTP output stream. It is specify the true or false value, that is Boolean type value. Next, cache. Cache means gets the caching policy. Caching policy includes expiration time, privacy, vary classes of a web page. Next, cookies. Get the response cookies. Then in HTTP request object also consists of a property cookies. It helps to get the request of the cookies. Here the gets the response cookie collection. Next, expires. Each and every application must have some expiration time or expiration date. Just like the property, this property, expires property, helps to set the expiration date for the page. Expires absolute, specify the correct date and time for the expiration of the page. Next, here are some other properties. Buffer output. Buffer output means it will send the requested value back to the browser, back to the client after the entire page is finished processing. Next, cache control. It determines whether the proxy servers are able to cache the output generated by cache. It is a temporary memory generated by ASP. Next, char set. Char set means character set in the HTTP, specifies the value of the character set in the HTTP content type header. Next, content encoding. It helps to get or sets the HTTP character set of the output stream. Next, content type specifies the MIME HTTP content type to use for the response. Next, filter. Filter means wrapping filter object used to modify the HTTP entity body before transmission. Is client connected? Check whether the client is connected or not. It is a Boolean value. It may be either true or false. Next, output. Enables the output of text to the outgoing HTTP response stream. Some other properties are output stream, status code, status description, suppress content. Okay. Next, we are going to discuss about the methods of the HTTP response object. Just like the our HTTP request object, the first method is the binary write. There is a method binary read. Here response. Response means sending data back to the client. So the method is binary write. HTTP request means retrieving information. So the method is binary read. Here HTTP response will sending data back to the client. So the first method is the binary write. It writes the binary data to the HTTP output stream. Next, clear the buffer, clear content, clear the buffer content. Next, clear header, clear all headers from the buffer stream. Close the socket connection to a client. Also, some other methods: add file dependencies, add file dependencies, and also another one method, add file dependency. Add file dependency means adds a single file name to the collection of the names. Add file dependencies mean adds a group of file names to the collection of the names. Dependencies, add file dependencies means adds a group of file names to the collection of the names of file names. Add file dependency means adds a single file name to the collection of the names. Next is add header. Sends an arbitrary HTTP header with the response. Next, append header. Make changes on the HTTP header. Next, append to log. Append to log. Append to log means append a string to the web server log entry for this response. Next, end. End means terminate the current script. Flush out the buffered output immediately. That means sends buffered output immediately. Pix means appends a pix label HTTP header to the output stream. Redirect. It will redirect the data back to the browser with the help of the URL which are requested from the server. Next, write. Write the output to the HTTP stream. Write file. Write the specified file directly to an HTTP output stream. Got it, students? Next, we move on to the HTTP server utility object. HTTP server utility object. It contains some miscellaneous utility functions. Utility means some library activities which are made using the utility objects. It contains some miscellaneous utility functions and also helps to access the properties on the web server. It helps to perform the HTML URL encoding which are resolve the physical path names on the server, and it will create an instance of component object model software components, and also helps to create the objects for the components. Okay. Next, there are some attributes of the cookies collection. There may be a cookies which are cookie properties made in the HTTP request object and the HTTP response object. Here we will going to discuss the brief attribute of the cookies. First attribute is domain. Domain means set some limitations. Limitation domain. It may be an education domain, it may be an organization domain, it may be a business domain, it may be an academic domain, it may be an military domain, defense domain. Domain means .com, .edu, .ac, .mil. These are some domains. It helps to set the limiting domain for the cookies. Next, expires. Specify the expire time sets the date when the cookie expires. Has keys specifies whether the cookie contains keys. Path. Cookie sent only to request to the specified path. Secure specifies whether the cookie is secured or not. Next, the properties of the HTTP server utility object. First property is the machine name. First property is the machine name. Gets the server machine name. Script timeout. It helps to get and set the request timeout. You are all have the experience of timeout. It may sometimes the web page, if you stand the web page ideal for half an hour or 10 minutes, after refreshing that page, it will show the page will expand or your transaction will time out. Okay. The next the methods of the HTTP server utility. The first method is the create object. Helps to create an instance of a COM server component. Create object from class ID. Class ID means class identifier. Create a server instance of a COM object identified by the object's class identifier. Next method is the execute, get last error, HTML decode, HTML encode, map path. These are some of the methods of the HTTP server utility objects. Next, the HTTP application state object. The previous one is the HTTP server utility object. Here, we are going to discuss about the HTTP application state object. It is used to store application persistent data available for all users of the web application to access. It helps to store the data which are available for all the users who are accessing that particular web application. Also, it stores all the variables in a single collection. Each application variables constitute one item in the HTTP application state objects collection. Already we study about the state object saving state in state bag object. There also we use some variable name to handle the state of an application. Just like each application variable helps to store one item in the HTTP application. That means one application state are stored in a single variable. Here, how to set the application state? That means specify the application, next the variable name, next specify the value. Next, the second syntax, the first syntax is used to store an application variable. Next syntax is used to retrieve an application variable. How to retrieve? While we retrieving some data, it must be assigned to a variable. Just like here, we are assigning a variable equal to application and that specified variable name. Okay. Next, some of the properties of the application state. HTTP application state object. First one is the all keys. All keys property. It will gets the access keys in the HTTP application state collection. Contents. It gets a reference. Count. It will gets the number of objects in the HTTP application state collection. Next, item. It gets access to an object in an HTTP application state collection. Next, keys. Gets a name object collection base, the key collection instance. It contains all the keys in the name object collection base instance. Static object. It gets all the object declared via the attribute run at equal to server. Okay. Next, we move on to discuss about the methods of the HTTP application state object. First method is the add. Add a new object to the HTTP application state collection. Clear. Remove all objects from an HTTP application state collection. Get key. Get an index for an object which are stored in the HTTP application state. Lock. Prevents other object from modifying. That means lock the object from modifying values. Remove all the application variable from the collection. Next, what are the other methods? Are get. It helps to get the object by name or index. Remove. It will remove an application variable from the collection. Remove at. Remove at means remove an application variable with the help of the specified index. Set. It will update the value of an object in an HTTP application state collection. That means it will modify some value of an object in an HTTP application state collection. Unlock. It will unlock the access to an HTTP application state variable. Okay. Next, the HTTP session state object. Session state. Session. What is meant by session state? Session. Session means some time. We can specify some time for a website for accessing. It is used to declare variables that have some session scope. It is able to determine when the user has left. That means when the user stopped using the application. Determine the time when the user has left from the page, or determine the time when the user will stop using, when the user was stop using the application. This is accomplished by examining the page since the user last requested from that page inside the virtual directory. It is examined with the help of the time the user who is stay in that particular page. Okay. Next, the properties. Some of the properties of the HTTP session state object. The first property is the code page. Code page. Code page means gets or set the code page identifier of the current session. Code page means the code which are behind the page. The code page consists of the various events. It will specify the code page property gets or sets the code page identifier for the current session. Next, condense. It gets a reference to the current HTTP session state objects. Next, count. Get the number of items in the session state object. Is cookieless. Gets a value indicating whether the session is managed using a cookieless session. Is new session. Check whether the session has been created with the current request. Here is some other properties. Is read only. Is synchronized. Item. Keys. Local ID. Mode. Session ID. Static objects. Sync route. Timeout. These are some of other properties of HTTP session state object. Next, here we are discuss some of the methods of the HTTP session state object. The first method is abandon. Abandon means cancel. Cancels the current session. Next, add. Add a new item to the current session state. Clear. Clear all values from the session state. Copy to. Copy to means copies the collection of session state value to a one-dimensional array. That index is start here. The starting index will be specified by the programmer. Get enumerator. Get an enumerator of all session state values in the current session. Remove. Deletes an item from the session state collection. Remove all. Clear all session state values. Next, the object context object. This is the last object of ASP.NET intrinsic object, that is the object context object. It is used to control the transactions for complex component object. Transactions. What are the transactions of application? Retrieving data, responding data. These are all the transactions. That there may be an addition, that means submitting, posting data, retrieving data, deleting data, appending data. These are some of the transactions. Just imagine the transactions made in our bank account. What are the transactions made in our bank account? We may deposit money to our savings account or withdraw money from our savings account, or transact the amount from anybody to anybody else. These are some of the transactions. Just like our web applications has some of the transactions. What are they? Adding details or adding information to the server, or retrieving information from the server, or editing information to the server, or deleting information from the server. These are some of the transactions which are controlled with the help of the object context object. We can also abort and complete the transactions, also specify the event handlers when the transactions abort or complete. Abort means we manually stop the transaction. Complete means it will successfully finish the transactions. Okay. Abort means just like murdering. Complete means just like the nature death. Okay. Got it? Next, the methods are. We move on to the methods of the object context object. Here there are only two methods. That means set abort. Another one is the set complete. Set abort means marks the current transaction as failed and notifies the complex to undo any change made to database tables during the attempted transaction. We can undo any changes. Set complete. This is the final stage after the execution, after the transaction executed without any problems, and the transaction can continue. Set abort means the transaction will fail in part. Set complete means it will successfully finished. Okay. Next, the events of the object context object. There are two events in object context object. One is the on transaction abort and the on transaction commit. On transaction abort means if there is any failure in a transaction, there is an event arised. That is the event on transaction abort. Next event is the on transaction commit. On transaction commit is an event when the transaction successfully completed within the page. Okay, got it students? Today we are discussed about the various ASP.NET intrinsic object. It is a very important 8-mark question. Study well. First object is the HTTP request object, next the HTTP response object, next HTTP server utility object, next the HTTP application state object, next the HTTP session state object, and finally the HTTP context object. Okay, got it students? Today here this slide I conclude the second unit. So next day, that means in our first day, there is a objective type examination on unit 2. So don't forget to attend the examination. I will take it as a internal mark. Okay, there is also other internal, there may be a conduction, there may be other internal exam, internal theory exam, but also these objective type examination marks also take for your internal marks. Also your attendance is very important. So please mark your attendance in time. The late attendance are marked as absent. Okay, got it students? If you have any doubt, feel free to ask me through our WhatsApp group, YouTube comment, or through our Google Classroom. Okay, thank you students. Meet you in the next class.